All right, if you're in the nonprofit world, I've got a huge question for you. Are you really ready for what's coming? We're talking about the biggest wealth transfer in history. Today, we're going to dive deep into the rise of millennial and Gen Z donors. And let me tell you, this isn't just some passing trend. It's a total reinvention of what philanthropy even means.
Okay, get this. By 2030, and that's not far off, millennials are going to control a fifth of all the wealth in the US. A fifth. And right behind them, you've got Gen Z, who are just now starting to make their mark. This is, and I'm not exaggerating, a seismic shift in who's holding the philanthropic power. So, you can't put this off. This isn't some we'll deal with it later kind of thing. It's happening right now. It's a huge challenge for sure, but it's also a massive opportunity. The big question is, how do we actually change our strategies to meet this new reality? Let's get into it.
All right, first things first. We've got to understand that the whole idea of giving is changing. The old playbook, the one that's worked for, decades, it's basically becoming obsolete. The nonprofits that are going to win in this new era are the ones who aren't just reading the new rules, they're the ones writing them.
You know, think about the classic model, the big, fancy fundraising gala. It's all about getting those large, once-a-year checks. Now contrast that with something totally different, a constant flowing stream of smaller gifts, all happening online, all driven by a real passion for a cause. It's a fundamental shift, you see. We're moving away from loyalty to a specific institution and toward loyalty to a set of values.
And that brings us to a super important mindset shift. You have to stop looking at the size of a single donation as your main metric. It's not about that one big gift anymore. It's about the lifetime value of that donor relationship. Seriously, this changes everything about how we should think about fundraising.
Let's make this real with some numbers. Imagine a millennial donor giving you just $200 a month. Sounds good, but not game-changing, right? Well, if they do that consistently for 20 years, that adds up to over $48,000. That's huge. It just goes to show you how a steady stream of smaller gifts can absolutely blow a one-time large donation out of the water.
Okay, so if we're going to build these kinds of long-term relationships, we have to get inside the heads of these new donors. What makes them tick? It's a whole different world of motivations. And you know what? It's actually not as complicated as it sounds. It really boils down to three core things. First, it's all about values. Their giving is personal. Second, they are digital natives. If you're not online, you basically don't exist. And third, they don't just want to write a check. They want to be part of the action, active participants in what you're doing.
This right here is their first filter, and believe me, they do their homework. They're going to look at who's on your board, your environmental footprint, even who you partner with. It's not just a buzzword anymore. In this new world, authenticity is literally the price you pay to even get in the door.
So, okay, understanding the mindset, that's step one. But the real magic happens when you put that understanding into action. So let's roll up our sleeves and look at a real concrete playbook for how to engage this generation, using strategies that are actually working today.
Now, don't think of this as just another checklist. These are the new fundamentals. We're talking about stuff like sharing real, raw, authentic stories on places like TikTok, creating real opportunities for people to volunteer their skills, not just their time, and being radically transparent. And I mean really transparent about the good stuff and the stuff you're struggling with.
A perfect example of this in action, peer-to-peer fundraising. This is brilliant. It's when you empower your supporters to become your champions. They fundraise within their own circles, for a birthday, or they're running a 5K. And that appeal is often so much more powerful than anything you could send out yourself. Why? Simple. It's coming from someone they know and trust.
All right, so we've talked about the playbook, but just as important as knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. So let's flip this around and look at three super common mistakes that will absolutely drive these donors away, sometimes before you even get a chance to say hello.
Okay, mistake number one. Chasing trends without being authentic. You've seen this happen, right? Some social cause goes viral, and suddenly every organization is talking about it. It's so tempting to jump on that bandwagon to get a piece of the action, even if it's not really what you're about. It seems smart, but trust me, it almost always backfires.
Because here's the thing. Younger donors have a built-in BS detector for this kind of values washing. You might see a little spike in attention, sure, but it's going to be followed by a mass exodus of supporters and some serious long-term damage to your reputation. They see right through it and know it's just not real.
The takeaway here is so simple, but it's crucial. Stay true to who you are. Stick to your mission. In today's world where everything is out in the open, your authenticity is hands down your most valuable asset. Period.
Mistake number 2. Oh man, this is a classic. It's setting up social media accounts and then just letting them die. It's like walking down the street and seeing a store with cobwebs in the window. It's a digital ghost town. And honestly, a dead Instagram account is way worse than having no account at all. It screams, we're not active, we don't care about engaging with you. You just become invisible. And you're leaving all these amazing opportunities to build a real community on the table.
And that brings us to mistake number 3, probably the most common one I see. Treating that first interaction like a cash grab. Just imagine you meet someone new at a party, and before you even learn their name, they're asking you for 20 bucks. It's awkward, right? Well, that's exactly how it feels to a young donor when you ask for money right away.
That approach just makes people feel used, not valued. It sends a loud and clear signal that you care more about their credit card number than their actual passion for your mission. And it completely poisons the well. You can pretty much forget about building a long-term relationship after that.
So what's the new mantra? It's simple. Relationship before request. Say it with me. Relationship before request. Your first job, your only job at the beginning, is to earn their trust. Share your stories. Invite them in. Build a real community. If you do that right, the money will follow. It will.
So when you put it all together, when you avoid these big mistakes and really lean into this new way of thinking, you're not just tweaking your fundraising for this quarter. No, you're unlocking a huge 40-year opportunity for the future of your organization.
Think of it like this. When you engage these donors genuinely, right at the start of their careers, you're not just getting a small donation today. You're planting a seed. You're building a relationship that could grow and flourish for 40+ years. That's how you secure your organization's future for decades.
So here's the bottom line. Your future donors are out there online right now. They are actively looking for causes that they believe in. And they're not going to stay with you out of habit or because their parents did. They'll stay because you're transparent, you're authentic, and you're a real partner in their journey to make the world a better place. So the question I'll leave you with is, when they go looking, will they find you? The time to start building that bridge isn't next year, it's now.